Hi, we are here with Braben.
Hi.
How are you, David?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Did you enjoy the show?
Yes, it's tiring. It's fun. Very busy. It'll be even busier tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. And we have some questions about the Dangerous. And the first is, the game is CBD multiplayer and also a single player. So, could I jump from the single player to the multiplayer part, or how is the balance between two modes?
Right, so currently you can go between single player, group play, so you can create a group of your friends list, so the only player characters you meet are your friends and the rest are AI, or you can play with the whole online world. You can switch between those currently with no restriction.
Yeah.
But you still meet AIs. It's not like you're on your own when you're single player. So you still have to fight, people will still attack you. But I would really like it if people played online, because I think that's what we've intended, for instance.
Yes, obviously. But in the single player mode, there is a storyline, maybe, or...
There's essentially the storyline in all the modes, but it's an open world type storyline. If everyone had played a Rescue the Princess type single thread story, it doesn't make sense for everyone to play the same story, because everyone will say, oh yes, I rescued the princess, oh so did I. You know what I mean? And you can't have a million players doing that.
Classic.
Yeah, that's right. So I think the way I see the story unfolding, the story is about you.
Yeah,
so
it's player driven.
That's right. So if, for example, when you reach a certain level, you might have people coming up to you and offering you special things. That's essentially how the story will work. But that's the same multiplayer or single player. So actually, if you play single player, you lose out, because you lose all that human interaction that you would otherwise have.
Okay. And I'm a casual player. Could I play this game?
Yes.
Or it's too difficult for me?
No.
No?
No.
And there is the possibility to approach the game with a tutorial or something else like this?
No, I mean, that's not how we're designing it. But it's very interesting when people say casual play. It often means in short play periods, not like 1 hour, 2 hours at a time, but 5, 10, 20 minutes, which you can do. You can just do one jump, one mission or whatever, and then leave it. It's not really intended as a casual game, but I think a lot of casual players I've seen have actually liked it and enjoyed it. There will be, I mean, in this day of connectivity, YouTube and all that sort of thing, there will be things you can do. We will have instructions you can do, but we designed the game so you can pick it up and play it, but you won't necessarily know all the complex controls.
Right.
And you will gradually learn them with time. You'll think, oh, I can get a slight advantage by doing this, like by putting power to my engines, putting power to my shields.
So could I control the ship in early phase? Also, if I don't know anything about a sci-fi game, or
you will have to learn an element, but you will succeed eventually. It might not be. We're writing this game for ourselves. And by ourselves, I mean all the backers, all the people involved, who essentially are like me. They want this kind of game to be made. And so I think it's important that we do a really good game in that vein. You see what I mean? I don't want us to compromise. We're not writing for an imagined audience. We're writing for ourselves. And
you are the first fan.
Yeah, and I think the point is there. That way we know we'll have a very, very home quality experience. Other players who may not think of themselves in that group will still be able to play, but it's not necessarily designed that way. And we will improve it with time. We will make it. We will do things like tutorials, but they'll probably be outside the game.
Right. I have that. It will be the possibility to allow the player to walk around outside the ships, maybe or not, in a first-person perspective.
Yes, but not to start with. So you're already in a first-person perspective, because you can look around.
There is the idea to make something like this.
The idea. Once we have the first release, what we're trying to do is we're building a game in logical stages. We will release it at the end of this year. We started with the alpha back in December last year, and we've gone through a number of phases. We're building out the key things for the game, so we make the combat feel really nice, make the ship feel just right, heavy enough. getting all those responses, getting it to work, player versus player, building up the network support, all of those things, building out the gameplay loop. I like it to building a house. You build solid foundations, then you build the walls. And we've we've started beta, which we started a couple of weeks ago. We've got a very a playable game. But it's like a house with no furniture. It's an empty house that we're now putting the furniture into. And we're building out more and more things that you can do, more and more sort of interest and excitement within the game. And so, as we add that amount of sort of content, we will deliver what we think will be a great game at the end of this year. But we're going to, even when we deliver the game, we will continue development, and there'll be new features coming along. And those new features will include getting out of your ship, walking around, landing on planets, driving vehicles around planets, big game hunting on planet surfaces. All of those things, boarding other ships, going around space stations, zero-G, floating around your ship, going outside your ship. Those are things that we want to add over the next sort of months and years.
Right. Just last question. In your opinion, why in the past we hadn't we had so few games, so few sci-fi games, just online and nothing else? Why?
Well, I think
it's too difficult to develop a game like this. Or,
no, not true. Because there have been, this is the fourth in the Elite series. Yeah. I think publishers, up to recently, we had to go through a publishing route because they had control of the high street shops and all that sort of thing. And there haven't been a lot of games, ironically, because they don't want to make them, because they don't think they will sell. Because the last big sort of AAA sci-fi game was probably Freelancer, which I don't think sold all that well. Even though it was not an interesting game. And so they have a return on investment. They think, oh well, it will only sell as well as that.
Yes, I intended maybe with a massively component, massively component, just online or some other tries, but not too much.
And so they think it's going to be more successful, more sort of financially lucrative to make another first-person shooter. Because historically, Call of Duty and Battlefield have shown those sell really big numbers. But as a gamer, the last Call of Duty I didn't think was all that moved forward. It's still a very polished game, but it hasn't really moved forward. I feel like I'm playing the same game over and over with just new missions. And I feel I've played those games so much, I want to play something different. I like the way in Titanfall they brought in the robots. I like in Battlefield you've got the vehicles, but it's still fundamentally a first-person shooter.
Yes, and the market is full of fantasy game.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I loved Skyrim. That was great. Lovely game.
Okay, thank you very much to David. And bye. Ciao.